Unrest in the Middle East? Say it ain't so. Surely that could never happen. Let's talk about that. Welcome to the Patriot Training YouTube channel. My name is Clay Howell. I'm the owner and head firearms instructor at Patriot Training. The topic of today's video is the unrest that's in the Middle East. I'm sure you've heard the news lately. It is Friday, October 13th, and of course, there is war going on in Israel between Israel and Hamas. And there are many people who are upset about that. And not only that, but Hamas declared today, Friday, October 13th, a day of jihad all over the world. Well, as this is being filmed, it is in the evening here in Tennessee, and frankly speaking, I haven't heard of a lot of stuff going on to that effect. Nevertheless, many people have reached out to me and asked, what should I be doing to prepare? What should I be doing here, there? What's up? And I had somebody ask me, what do you have in your bug out bag? And ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to remind you that these are the things you need to figure out in advance. If you think that there's going to be an attack Friday, you can't text somebody on Thursday and think that you're going to have enough time to build a bug out bag on Friday, much less acquire the skills to use the tools that you have packed. That's the big thing, especially with a bag like that, a get-home bag, bug-out bag, whatever you like to use, is you need the skills to use the tools that you have. You need to be able to create a fire. You need to be able to set up shelter, all sorts of things that you need to have already practiced. Secondly, a lot of people have reached out to me and said, what should I be practicing? I don't have a lot of money for extra ammunition, etc., etc. What should I be practicing? Okay. Good question. And I address this in every firearms class that I teach. The way you practice is you use dry fire. You practice with an unloaded empty gun pointed in a safe direction. And you can practice just about every technique that we teach at Patriot Training. You can practice that dry fire. And then I would recommend when you go to the range, practice a handful of them live fire to confirm. So you could realistically practice day in and day out and maybe go to the range 3, 4, 5 times a year to confirm and keep your skills sharp, if not improve them, as long as you keep up your dry practice. So what should you practice? Well, I'm going to boil it down really simple for everybody out there. You need to practice presentation. For a rifle, that means ready-ups. Marksmanship is also a very important thing to practice. If you cannot hit your target, you cannot win the fight. A third thing to practice would be malfunctions. You need to work on clearing your malfunctions, and I suggest that you invest in a couple of snap caps so that you can use those magazines stuffed with those dummy rounds and practice your malfunction clearing as well. The reason I suggest this is if you use a modern AR-15 rifle that's well lubricated and a modern striker fire pistol, you're not likely to have a lot of malfunctions, but when they do happen, you can go into a remedy very, very quickly if you are well practiced. With a pistol, it's about the same story. Presentation. You need to be able to draw and aim with your pistol. You need to get on target. That's called presentation. You need to be able to do that. Marksmanship is always a key. You need to be able to hit what you're aiming at. And then again, just like with the rifle, malfunction clearing. It's not likely you're going to have a malfunction, but you want to make that movement of clearing that malfunction, that tap rack. You want to make that so automatic that you don't even have to think when it happens. You get a click instead of a boom, you tap rack. That's what you automatically do. For sure, there's a lot of different ways that you can practice your presentation, both with a rifle and a pistol. Of course, you've been seeing some of that laid over this voiceover for this video, and you definitely need to train. I would suggest you start all of this with some techniques that you learn at a training class under the watchful eye of a competent instructor. So many times, people's first iteration when they're trying something is incorrect. And you want to have that competent instructor to be there and help smooth out your delivery, be it on your presentation, be it on your marksmanship, your malfunction clearing, whatever it may be. The other thing that you want to keep in mind is there's people. I had somebody just call me the other day and say, yeah, I know all there is to know about shooting. I've been shooting all my life. And I asked the fellow, I said, where did you train? With whom have you trained? And he went, well, just, at the range, and then, with a couple of buddies in the military went to the range with me. Folks, that's not training. There's nothing that would be further from training than that. I don't know what that is. That's not even practice, because you don't know what it is that you're practicing. You need to have the correct skill set, and then you need to hone that skill set. Train under the watchful eye of a competent instructor. Practice after you train what you have trained. That's how you get competent. That's how you get good. And if you do it correctly with dry practice, you can get really good in a fairly short amount of time. Now, once again, if you're calling me on a Thursday asking how you can get good for Friday, you're too late. You need to make these preparations in advance. In order to do that, I suggest very strongly you go to the website, patriottraining.info, check out the classes we have coming up, get yourself in a rifle class, get yourself in a pistol class today, my friends. Well, folks, that wraps it up for this video. If you enjoy the content that we present, hit like, hit subscribe, click that notification bell so that you can find out when we drop our newest video. And I need to remind you that you don't have to be a patriot to train, but you do have to train if you want to be a patriot. Take care.